JP.
You're adding in the symbols there.
I have to. You got to do a little ad lib.
He's a musician.
Guys, back in the lab with Jay Pizzle. JP, you had a couple big wins this weekend, my man.
I mean, you had the bigger win. You're on court one. I'm just trying to catch the downstream drizzle from behind you.
No, I was down on the watching you on court. I was getting distracted watching you with all your fist pumps. I'm like, man, this guy is dialed in over here.
Dude, I had to stay positive. Only good thoughts.
The winning mentality out there. So it's it's pretty cool, guys. If you guys have been listening to the show, you guys know that we got Joe into tennis. He saw me, watched a few lessons. I'm giving his kids lessons, and he's like, he got the itch. I saw it live, and I'm like, he needs to get out on the tennis court himself. And after 3 years now, he's now 4 or 5 interclub player. I mean, out of thin air. You went from a non-tennis player to one of the most respected interclub players in the city.
I got good coaching. That's why I keep saying. It's only been a year and a half.
All these teams are like, can you sub for us? Can you sub for us? I'm like, dude, he's part of our squad.
Western.
Come on, man. He's part of the Wahoos, and it's it.
The Western Wahoos.
The Western Wahoos. No, but it is pretty cool to watch.
Playoff bound.
Someone in their, let's just we're playoff bound too. So someone at your age to be able to tell that story of, people think that they have to play tennis when they're 5-6 years old to be good at it. You're someone that picked it up when you were 40, 41, and at 44 you're playing.
I will say though that there's because I get to hang out with you and be around all these great people that know tennis, it helps when you do that. And then also since you're doing tennis stuff and working in tennis and then playing tennis every single day, that's really where the wins start happening. You got to play every day.
Yep. No, that's the truth. And you do play every day, which is part of the reason I think that's why you were such a good golfer as well. You put the time in, and I think that's just shows if you put the work in on anything. I mean, obviously you have to be an athlete. You got to be a good athlete, and if you're a good athlete and you can be coachable,
got to be coachable. Dangerous. That's it. Coachable.
Got to be coachable. So I coach his 8-year-old guys. I'm going to be putting out some video on the Pure Tennis Podcast Instagram page. Joe's middle child, Benny, is a pretty special talent. I will say he's also learned how to string. Him and Sam have learned how to string. They got their own stringing business, which is cool. So,
the Patent Power
Tennis Point's gonna have to hire them out or contract them out.
Yeah, I mean, if Tennis Point wants to buy that company off of Sam,
we're gonna buy Patent Power Tennis from the. We're gonna buy that.
Acquire. You have to acquire.
Yeah. What do you call it?
LLC.
LLC. We're gonna acquire that LLC.
You got to.
So anyway, Joe, we had a great lesson this weekend with Benny. Benny's
awesome.
Gonna be a problem. He's on to yellow balls. We did the full USTA progression from the orange to the green to the yellow. Pretty cool to see a kid that serious about his craft.
Well, can I just say something really quick too about just someone that's coming into tennis and get if your children or if you want to get better at tennis, pay the money to get a coach, because as much as you think that you just go out and maybe hit the ball machine or take part of a clinic, which is going to help you, the real improvement's going to come when you take someone like Nate aside and just be like, I want to get better at tennis, and because they can see things that you can't see, and no matter what you do, you're not going to be able to understand it enough to put it into your process. And if you get a good coach that can look at your swing and fix you, you're going to get better.
No, I think
that's just a huge thing to meet you, and I mean you fixed me and Ben and
I appreciate it.
And Sam.
I love coaching. I always will. It's one of my favorite things about being involved in tennis was being able to help people get better at a sport that I've loved my whole life. And I just you got text from me at 2 a.m. last night. It's like when I'm studying, I take videos
watch his film.
I take videos on the tripod of the kids I coach to show them their swing, and then to also show me their swing from a different angle, a different vantage point. I can slow it down, I can speed it up, I can kind of rewind, and I can just kind of watch it at my own pace. And I get to kind of dissect each swing, which is something I don't know if all coaches do that, but I enjoy that part of the process of just kind of mastering each stroke. So right now we're working on the forehand, but I think that's where I'm able to really kind of use my knowledge from where I've been using my whole life, is just from playing and coaching for now 5 or 6 years, where I can really make it more of a digestible way of delivering the next message to the kid. And so whether it's changing the verbiage or kind of showing them a part of their swing and with the video. So that's been a really fun part for me. And I think Benny is someone that's a visual learner like myself. And I think that's, I'm excited to see what we can do.
Well, and I think too that it's the energy that you bring into it, because there's people that are good coaches that aren't great players, and there's people that are great players that aren't great coaches. And like, it's the communication skills with the kid or the old adult that wants to learn. But I think there's also just this energy that you bring in, and every good coach that I've seen and been lucky enough to walk around and talk to is that they really love the game, for one, make it so fun that it's like, why would I want to not play this game? Because it's just the funnest game that's ever been invented. And then, but like the actual caring about your swing more than you do, enough to teach you, like, this is what you're doing wrong. Your weight's back here. It needs to come up through here. And like, I remember when I would be doing those practice swings, we'd be watching something for the podcast, and you'd be like, why are you rolling your hand up over your, like, why are you doing that? And I was like, oh, that's a tennis swing, isn't it? And he's like, no, that's not a good tennis swing, Joe. So like, you're like fixing it while we're watching a match. And it's like someone that cares enough to like say, like, I've seen you do an actual tennis swing in a match, and that's the problem. Let's fix that. Because now once I change that swing, then it's just, there's all those little fundamentals that just change.
It is all about, it starts with the energy and the just the connecting with the kid or the adult. I think that's the first and foremost, like, most important thing. You got to have a connection, and then once the kid trusts you, I mean, it gives you free reign to kind of deliver the message how you best see fit. But you got to earn that trust first, and I think that's why I've liked starting with Benny since he was 5 years old, because he doesn't know any better.
You guys speak in weird language that twins teach each other.
It's true. I know we do have like a weird dude. I could just look at Benny now, and he just like, we kind of like, or I'll just kind of give him like two claps and like a one single word, and we were already like, I don't know if, what were we doing the other day? Doing forehands, and I was like, something about the intensity. And after that one thing I said, it was like, we took him to another level of just.
I remember because you were talking about it, and I didn't even understand what you were saying, and then you're like, you know what I mean, and he just gave you the.
And you can see it on the video.
He
like,
totally knew what you
meant.
meant.
It just totally flipped a switch where it's like I wanted to see a little more swing speed, a little bit more footwork in between shots, and watching him dial that in really quickly with just a very few. Like, it was mostly just eye contact and a look, and it was just like, bang, he's on it. So,
but then you fixed that, and he started putting his weight into the ball, and like I'm just sitting on the other side picking up balls I do, and the balls are all going deep into the court.
When he started going to that next level, you stopped picking up balls, and you just started. You're in the back of the video, just like looking at him, like, dang. It was pretty funny. Anyway, guys, a lot of fun action on the courts, on the pro circuit, and on the college scene this year or this week. We also went to Indianapolis for a level 3 tournament, which was a ton of fun. Got to see a lot of the nation's best up-and-coming talent from this, really from all over the country. Well, I was going to say this region, but there was people from Oklahoma, people from South Carolina, Michigan, Indianapolis, and say all in between. And the level from both the women and the men was incredible. It was 18 and under. 14-year-old Amaya, I can't remember her last name, from Columbus, Ohio, took home the women's title.
Dang.
She's a blue-chip recruit. Big-time player. And then the winner of the 18s was Manning. So I'm forgetting his name. But, guys, I think that level of tennis just showed me. I mean, we put up a bunch of TikToks on our Tennis Point account. We did like 300,000 views already. It's just like
crazy.
People want to see this type of tennis. So that was cool to me to see that we can focus more on the junior market and still get that same ROI from just the viewership and engagement from these kids. And so that was a lot of fun. But on the pro circuit, what were you watching this past week?
I mean, we watched the Porsche. We watched, my wife and I, we watched that, but then we also, yesterday.
Iga's back on the clay court where she's comfortable. I think she's like something crazy, like 50-7 or something outrageous.
Yeah. We watched Badosa and the Blanket. Yeah.
The Blanket. Zablanket.
And then
pretty cool. Like, they're like best friends or super close, and it's like
you can tell.
It's wild to watch them fight against each other.
They both have the same racket, same little dampener, the little heart.
Nike, both Wilson Blade users.
Yep. It's like Blanket's got her though. Something big serve.
Badosa battled though. Like
she does.
I didn't think Badosa was even going to have a chance, but on clay, her ability to cover court and.
That was a weird match too. I mean, Badosa's taken. I felt like there was like 3 games in a row where Blanket's just hitting lines and they're all getting called out. Did you watch that? And
I watched a little bit of it. I
see
didn't
her
watch the whole
brain,
thing, and I watched the highlights.
It's just blowing up, but then she's still. She's hitting bomb serves.
She's got big time firepower, and then you got Iga claims the title, takes
Yep.
straight sets. Sabalenka cannot. That's not a dragon she can slay right
I
now.
know.
Iga's athleticism is incredible, but I think Iga on a clay court is the most like.
That's a weird mental thing too, because like you were gonna say about the clay, because I have this is the first time I've watched her on clay.
Iga.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like if you noticed, I mean, she's one of the. I don't know any other females that slide, and she does it on a hard court. So I mean, for her to transition to the clay when she's really the best mover, I think by some margin.
Yeah.
On that surface, and then her ball striking carries over. I mean, so I think she just has such a competitive edge, just with her mobility and her athleticism and just her aggressive playing style, and then she's just able to kind of get more timing to take her big cuts at the ball. So I think Iga's. I think she'll win the Roland Garros. I think she wins Roland Garros this year. I mean, I could see her not dropping a set, honestly.
Really?
I mean, yeah. I mean, Jabeur is going to be a fun one to watch. I'm excited to see what Jabeur can do just because her craftiness and her ability to kind of mix it up with her variety, a lot of drop shots and a lot of defensive slices, and her ability to work the outside corners with her angles and stuff. That could be a fun matchup, but Iga's just it's dominant. It reminds me of what Rafa was able to do for so long on the men's side.
So I feel like Badosa or one of those ladies in the. It's like so hard to pick out the girls, but like
it is because it's every week.
It's like you almost want to do like you pick the contrarian, the girl that hasn't won in a while, but that's just dumb.
Yep, that's funny. So on the men's side, we had Munich and we had Barcelona. We had the two teenagers take home the titles. It was their last week competing as teenagers together. Both of them turned 20.
Both defended
their titles. Correct. Yeah. I think that was the first title defense of Holger's career.
I think so, and probably the same
it could have been the same for Carlos as well.
I think it is.
So Carlos took home Barcelona. That's a great tournament, and I love the celebration. And I mean, he dominated Tsitsipas.
Yeah, he did.
The score was 4-3 or 3-4. I think that score was closer than what it actually looked like watching that match. I mean, when Carlos was serving, it was like Steph had no chance.
No, he didn't.
He had zero business hanging in those games. Carlos is just freaking. I think that we talked about it with James Blake, but like, I don't think he was actually hurt last week when he pulled out of Monte Carlo. It did seem like that was more of a preventative thing because he looked so damn healthy and fit all week, and just a dominant display. I mean, you see that passing shot he hit on the dead run
behind his back.
Yes, I'm like, what is that?
I saw something on Instagram where the guy was saying like, "Look at this shot." And then you're like staring at it, and then it's like, that's a winner, down the line winner.
Like,
and he's like,
a screenshot. If you took like a freeze frame from where he was with the grip he had and where the ball was with like how stretched out he was, and you told him that's a winner, it's like, this guy's a joke.
But watching it live too, because it's like you don't really get it. Like when you see it live, it's like that was not. He was slapping that ball. Like his head's the wrong way and his body's, but when it comes off his racket, it wasn't like Tsitsipas was in the wrong like position. He smashed that.
No, he did.
And
I think
Tsitsipas's hair's got different colored strands of hair in there, red, white, and blue. He's patriotic.
Oh my! The Carlos drop shot on clay is lethal. I mean, you see Holger mixing it in as well.
Yeah.
That's what he was. He won a lot of points in Munich doing the same thing.
Oh yeah.
But Carlos has more juice on the forehand, so he even has more front court to work with when he hits the drop shot. Holger was hitting the drop shot this week in Munich when he won the title, but it's like he didn't even like earn the drop shot. Like he wasn't even pushing guys too far back, and he was hitting it. And it seemed like guys were getting to most of his droppers, but Holger was coming up with like the 2-shot pass, which is
why he only gets 250 points. And
exactly. And Carlos
and man, Bodik's meltdown is just hard to watch. That hurts.
4 match points.
Oh, yeah.
And this is the second consecutive year he's reached the final.
And 2 of them were like just chop, like you got tight and just chopped balls deep for no reason in the middle of the point. It's like, dude.
It is interesting that Botic's maybe played or at least had his most impressive results on clay.
Yeah.
Where you would think, I feel like he seems like a hardcourt player, but I guess when I watch him and kind of think about it, he does take a massive backswing and a massive cut at the forehand and the backhand, really. I mean, the forehand, he finishes that thing. I mean, it's a huge, elongated finish. So I guess the clay slows the ball up enough that gives him enough time to get to his big groundies.
I mean, it is a big looping ball, but then it's still got bunch of beef in it. Like
his backhand is to me the stroke that he's able to even dictate maybe more with because it's not so rounded. He's able to kind of come on the outside of the ball and kind of scrape across it. The forehand, he really does lift it a good amount. So he plays with more margin on that wing. But on the backhand, he really can yank you off the court with that short angle cross court backhand. I really wanted him to take that title. I think that would have been that would have been his maiden title, right?
Yeah, so he made it there last year, but he beat Karatsev and then Garon, and then I think Taylor Fritz or someone before that too, right?
Yep.
And then but he was completely dominating Holger Rune after that first set. Was completely owning him. He go down from 5-2, can't put it away. It just hurts.
Yeah, Botic beat Fritz in a straight sets. That was an impressive for him. He beat Garon and he beat Karatsev. Yep, 6-2, 6-0. Your boy Osland has really fallen off since that Australian Open.
He got that terrible shirt deal, and then that just ended his power. That's what I'm worried about for Ben. Like I'm not talking about my Ben either.
Talking about Shelton.
I'm talking about Shelton.
You don't like the on shirt?
No.
Really?
No. It's the
Why?
Because it's too shiny. It's way too shiny. It's got a weird shine to it. He needs to drop that. And the shoes look like. I'm sorry, but he had a sweet kit with the New Balance.
Tennis Point doesn't carry this outfit, so you can dog on it. Okay,
it looks bad. Don't buy that.
Wow.
Would you ever wear that stuff? He looked so cool before that. He had the youth card. He's looked like New Balance dude. He's like kind of like Tommy Paul.
Maybe I'm basic. The New Balance shirt that he wore in Australia was better.
And he had cool New Balance shoes and everything. I'm sure that like On the Cloud's paying him a lot.
For sure they throw him a bag. But no, I mean
and that helps.
Put it this way, I've seen a lot worse outfits on the tennis court than that On's fit. I'll tell you that.
The black one though that he wore in Portugal, the shiny one, that was bad. I hated that. I was like, dude, you need to put something on that looks bad.
I don't.
It didn't fit him.
I mean, I feel like Ben's the type of kid though that he would look pretty good in almost anything.
I do too, but that was like you can't mess it up, and you messed it up. Yeah, like
I
dude,
think
and the shoes look
the more egregious
geriatric.
The more egregious technical foul was whatever they got Carlos wearing. That
yellow
shirt.
His shoes look like Monarchs. Shelton's shoes look like Monarchs, except they're not blue. And he's got like a Richard Simmons tank top on.
If Tennis Point ever had any interest in ever carrying On running or On Clouds,
I just screwed.
I guess we just lost our chance at that.
No, send us a box. We'll try. We'll try it.
We'll give it a review without any bias.
Honestly, like if Fed wants to send Nate a box, Nate's got his DMs and Instagram. Just go ahead and do it. But
speaking of boxes, I mean, Salenko.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that.
Salenko came through this week and sent a whole bunch of stuff for Team Yellow, which got me excited. So we got a couple of new blackouts. We got. Did you say I didn't even look? Oh, I got these in the mail today. You said they were extended.
Yeah, and they sent you 4 spools of Hyper G.
They sent some spools. I love how you say spools, man.
I want to get in on those.
They're not reels. They're called spools. We got some spools of Hyper G. We got the Salenko Wonder Grip. I'm excited to try all this stuff.
I want to try out the Hyper G. We got to get in there.
You're in there.
You said you needed the Puro strung. I'll get Benny on that.
I need the Puro at 60 pounds strung up and stenciled this week. Let's
get
it.
He's and stenciled. Oh, they just got into that. They're gonna love that.
I got the Salenko stencil in my bag.
Let's go.
But guys, the other thing we need to talk about.
Sorry.
The best thing I watched all weekend. University of Kentucky.
Oh yeah.
Taking home the SEC title against the Georgia Bulldogs, who were on a 15-match win streak.
That's huge.
Kentucky captures their first SEC title since, I think, 1992.
But they're NC champs still, defending, right?
No, they lost to Virginia last year in the final.
Oh, did they?
They sure did.
Oh,
I was sitting there front row, baby.
That's right.
I got to watch a kid.
I remember them getting through to the end. Sorry.
Because Bar Botzer was the one that clinched at 6 singles.
Yeah.
He's older than me. I think he turns 30 this year.
Good Lord.
And I was like, dude, wasn't I in a wedding with you in 2019? Like, and you clinched for the Wake Forest in the national title match in 2018. How are you still playing college tennis and you're back again? I'm like,
that gives me hope.
There's exactly. There's freshmen out there that are 18 years old. Bar Botzer, I love you, but I'm like, what did you do to figure out the system to get to you're going to be playing college tennis at the Division I level at age 30? That is incredible. So, tip of the hat to Bar Botzer for figuring out NCAA and some loopholes. But if you guys want to play tennis at 30 years old, it is possible. You guys got to DM Bar Botzer, and he will get you on that game plan. What are you showing?
Just looking at because we Ohio State Ohio State finished undefeated Big Ten season.
So
too.
they got the Big Ten conference tournament's coming up. So guys, if you didn't get to watch it, let me just give you a quick recap of what UK did. Georgia goes up. There's all types of trash talking, and it was amazing. I mean, Ethan Quinn and Liam Draxel. Draxel is a savvy veteran who talks more shit than anybody in college tennis. I mean, it's incredible what this guy comes up with. He's out there yelling like in game like 2 or 3, like, "This is my match," and he knows it. "This is my match." He knows it. And, Ethan Quinn's a freshman, one of the nicest kids. I mean, if you guys, I've listened to him being interviewed, and he did an interview with Cracked Rackets, and it's just like, how can this guy have any enemies? It's like, this dude is such a nice dude, and he's over there. He gets a taunting warning because he's yelling at, like, he starts talking back to Liam Draxel, and their coach goes over and insists, he's like, don't let him get to your head. And he said something along the lines of, like he's not even that good. He's just getting in my head, like, or whatever. And it was so good.
Then it's on.
So Georgia takes the doubles point. Ethan Quinn wins, and somebody else wins. They're up 3-1. All right. So there's 2 matches on the court, and they're up 3-1. Kentucky needs the rest, or sorry, three matches left. Kentucky needs all 3 matches left. I'm butchering his name, but Alafaya Yayeni is the guy that plays 2 singles night for UK. He's number 405 in the world. He clinches in an epic third set over who did he? Oh, he beat Phil Henning, one of the best players for Georgia.
And it was
Phil Henning's a freaking beast, huh?
And they all end at the same time, roughly. That's so crazy about college tennis.
So Iene wins. It's 3-2.
Yeah.
And now Kentucky needs 2 courts of the final 2 matches. They need both courts to win. They're down a break in each of the third sets that are being played. Georgia gets 2 championship points. Doesn't convert on either of them.
Oh God.
Body is playing 5 singles. He comes back down 5-4. The guy, I forget the guy's name. He's serving it out. Kreuter, I think is his name. Serves it out. Breaks him. Holds. Breaks again for a 7-5 third set win. Then the whole team rushes over to watch the freshman, Jaden Weeks. This kid is
on what court?
So Bartek, our good buddy, my roommate,
Bartek's
our
good
man. Buddy, one of the. I can't call him an intern anymore. He's been with us for like almost 2.5 years.
He's the man.
So Bartek ended up playing Jaden Weeks and had a tough match with him for NKU this year, which was pretty cool. But Weeks down a break in the third set. He comes back. They go to a tiebreaker for the SEC championship. They go to a breaker. He ends up winning. I think it was 10-8 or 9-7. I think it was 9-7.
Oh God!
In an insane
for the whole
match.
championship.
Yes, championship points on both sides, and the place stormed. I mean, erupts. The Georgia fans were stunned.
Yeah, you're like, turn it on, SEC channel, turn it on.
I texted you guys, and I'm like, guys, you guys got to turn this on immediately. But that was just an incredible match, and that is why I love college tennis, and I cannot wait to get down in Orlando for the NCAA tournament coming up in like 2 weeks.
Buckeyes play on Friday for the Big Ten championship, the tournament.
That's gonna be a fun one.
It's in Indiana.
And I also watched. So TCU upset Texas. Not upset. So now they're even at 2-2 in their series this year.
Texas, Ohio State's only lost.
Isn't that wild? Those Texas
bizarre.
and TCU have already played 4 times this year,
and they're split.
And there's a chance, 2-2, and there's a chance that they'll play in the NCAA tournament, which is like that's 5 matchups against the same team.
Same dudes.
It's 2-2. They got to have a rubber match. We got to have a 5th one. Got to have it.
Yeah, I can't wait to get the brackets like we did last year and go through all that. We got to do that again.
Well,
we can do a bracket.
We're doing a tennis
party.
podcast bracket. We got to do one.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we got to do a competition, and we got to put something on the line. We got to do some butts up or something for content.
That's fine. That's fine.
We got to do something.
I think we were pretty good last year. It's hard to like get around like the fact that some of the picks were just like we're kind of sticking with the ones.
Yeah. No, but now I think we've all been more tuned into the college.
I think we should have to pick like backcard matches in the.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna do it like we've done NCAA March Madness pools. So like you have to like to reward people for picking upsets.
Yeah.
You have to subtract the higher seed. So like
you get 1 point for that.
Take this if the 6th seed beats the 1 seed, you do 6 minus 1 is 5 times 2 is 10. So
okay.
You get 10 points for picking a good upset.
Let's do that.
So we'll figure out a fun method to do that. But guys, if you guys have interest in entering that, I will put it out there for you guys to enter as well.
No big deal.
We'll
$5 buy-in. Just send it Venmo.
Yeah, just send some Venmo. No, we'll do a little tennis giveaway. We'll do like a racket or something giveaway for the person that finishes the best. Yeah,
We got some Slinko.
I think that's a fun idea. We got some Slinko stuff. You know what? We just thought of a good idea
Yeah,
on the podcast. We didn't even
do
we
it.
didn't talk about
Let's
that.
give away a whiteout.
Guys, we're gonna give away a Slinko blackout or whiteout, whichever one.
Your choice.
Your choice. Yep. We'll have JP and the boys string it up.
Any way you want.
Exactly.
Any way you want. You got hybrid.
That's a good idea right there.
Creepy hybrid.
I'll reach out to the Slinko team. We'll have to do a collaboration on that.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Tour bite with Hyper G crosses.
Guys, you know what? Last thing before this is just we want to do a more. This is just a kind of a quick overview of the weekend, but I want to say thank you for the support of the podcast, guys. We had our second best week of podcast history. Episode 50 ended on a high note. It was a goal we had set out to get to podcast 50. We're up to
we're past that goal. We had a goal at the end of the year to get to, and we're past that goal.
We had a goal of average listeners we wanted to hit per episode, and we are well over that.
Which is awesome because it's just dumb two guys talking about tennis, and like for some reason, like a lot of people tuning in. So
which is crazy to think. So we're gonna be we got to up our game. JP said we need merch. We got to get the merch done, and we got to have some. As JP calls it, we need some new drip.
We got to get some drip.
So we're gonna make that happen. But it's been crazy to see where this podcast has been able to go. It's like for us to get guests on it now and it's become more of like a thing where we can get the community involved and stuff. I'm excited to see. And if you guys have any guests that you'd like to hear from or a guest that you think would be interested in coming on the show, let us know as well.
Yeah, the list of people that have kind of touched our podcast now is getting pretty cool. Andre Rublev, Tommy Paul,
JJ
obviously
Wolf,
JJ, James Blake, Craig,
Cooper Williams.
Yeah, I mean
we had Mike Cation.
Yep.
No, we've had some awesome guests on, and it's just cool to see. Like, I mean, Harvard Tennis's account sharing our podcast because we had James Blake on.
Holger Rune, didn't even think about that.
Holger came on. Andres Gomez, French
Andres
Open champion.
Gomez, French Open champion, and then
Angela Wilson, one of the best coaches in the country.
Yeah, I mean, we're still trying to make this entertaining. So let us know what you want to hear too, because I think tennis is interesting, and people that listen to it have opinions. So please send them in. We'll try to do it.
Yes, sir. But anyway, it's gonna be a fun week of tennis, guys. We got a ton of action. We've got the Madrid 1000 event this week. Both men and women in action. I love the events that have both men and women.
Me too.
It's so much easier to follow. And I feel like it just makes it more legit when you got both WTA and ATP players competing in the same venue. But
yeah, it's a much bigger draw too, so you can just kind of
give me your predictions.
Popcorn matchups.
Popcorn matchups was our favorite. Give me your predictions for the men. Who do you got winning this title?
I think it'd be hard.
Who's in the final? Give me your final.
It'd be hard pressed to get around Alcaraz right now if he's not hurt. If he keeps playing at that level,
I don't think he's hurt. I think what they're doing is smart. I have to believe what they're doing is just
they keep like moving his like upper leg around though. It kind of creeps me out.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
true.
It's just like something's up there. I don't know what it is. He's got a rough draw.
So how does he win tournaments if he's actually beat up?
I don't know. Korda comes back this week.
Yep.
Seb.
Wow. Good shout out. Korda's back?
Yep. I think
Where did you see that?
I saw it on Instagram.
Dude, that's
playing.
huge.
Yeah. He's playing.
Sebi, welcome back, buddy. I feel like I haven't seen you hit a ball since January.
I'm trying to find him on the draw because I don't see it though.
I'm looking for him.
I got a feeling he's gonna.
Damn, Cressy plays Wawrinka round 1.
Yep.
Sheesh.
Tommy Paul is gonna get McKenzie. I think with all the Americans like, trying to see.
Wow, you got. I'm looking for him. I don't see him.
I swear I saw it.
I'm sure you. I believe you.
I don't know where he was.
Anyway, if Sebi's back, that's massive.
Seb Korda, there he is.
Where is he?
He got a first round bye.
Damn.
He's gonna have to play the winner of Diego Schwartzman in the qualifier.
What seed is he?
22.
Oh, there he is. All right, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Big for American tennis. But guys, WTA. So you got Carlos. I'll take. Give me. I mean, I can't pick. If Carlos is healthy, it's like shit. I'm taking Carlos as well. On the women's side, give me. I'm sure that sounded. It's
awesome. I mean, you just said that hard to press anyone beat Swiatek on the clay.
But I got to pick against. I can't just pick one seeds across the board. Give me Ons Jabeur, the 4 seed. I like her draw. I think she's got a favorable first few matchups there.
I'll take Sakari.
Picks up some momentum. It's just like good luck to anybody beating Iga.
Yeah, I don't see that, but I'm with you. I kind of want to take some.
Can't be boring on the Pure Tennis Podcast.
Can't be boring, and like there's also there's a ton of people that these are bigger draws, so it's harder to get. It's going to be harder to get through there.
Yep, It's a dog.
And
Anyway.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, JP, any final thoughts?
Nope. Good to go.
Get back to work. I need to get back to we need an early morning hit session this week.
Yes, we do.
Guys, appreciate you guys tuning
Thanks for
in.
listening.
Tell a friend about the podcast. DM us on the Pure Tennis Podcast
Yeah.
Instagram page. Would love to know any feedback you guys have. Really appreciate those of you that have been sharing the podcast on your guys' accounts or platforms. Really appreciate that. And have a great rest of the week. Get out on the courts. Go get your grind on, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Peace.